who will be the next anime of the year. At the end of the month, Crunchyroll will announce the results of the Anime Awards. And to figure out who deserves to be the next anime of the year, I decided to break each nominated show down to the core elements that make up the essence of a great anime and to rate them from E to S rank. In this video, we are going to talk about romance. Before we get started, please understand that this review is only about the anime adaptation and not the original material. So, there might be some differences with the paper version. Also, there will be some spoilers ahead, in case you haven't seen some of these shows. And with that said, let's get started with Kaiju number 8. In Kaiju number 8, I'm not going to lie, but romance is pretty much non-existent. There's only two relationships you could consider on a romance standpoint, and it is the relationship between Mina and Kafka, or Kikoru and Kafka. And in both cases, I would say that so far it's only friendship. On one hand, we've got Mina and Kafka with their childhood friendship that is essential to the plot of a story, but doesn't seem to hold any real romantic elements. On the other hand, we have what I would call the comradeship between Kafka and Kikoru, but with no real romantic element either. So, for Kaiju number 9, I'm sorry, but I'm going to rate you with an E rank in terms of romance. Next, Delicious in Dungeon Season 1. In Delicious in Dungeon, the only real explicit love relationship is between Shuro and Falin, and it's only one-sided because only Shuro has expressed his feelings about Falin. Falin is completely oblivious to it and doesn't seem to have any interest in Shuro. Although a love relationship is technically part of the show, it's not really part of the main plot of the story and doesn't have any impact on the characters and their motivations. So I'm going to give Delicious in Dungeon the D rank. Following up is Solo Leveling Season 1 and 2. There are several female characters, at least 4 of them, that seem to be interested in Sung Jin-Woo, the main character, but he doesn't seem to be really interested in them. The show hints that romance can be part of the story, but romantic feelings are not part of Jin-Woo's motivations to become stronger. His main motivation comes from saving his dying mother and protecting his family. It kind of feels like a missed opportunity in Season 1 and 2, but romance could become something more important later in the story. So, I will give Solo Leveling a C rank. Next up is Apothecary's Diaries, Season 1 and 2. The relationship between Mao Mao and Shinji is complex due to their social statuses and roles in the palace, but it is clear that Shinji has developed growing feelings for Mao Mao fairly early in the story, and Mao Mao, who often struggles with social interactions and expressing her emotions, was thrown off guard by Shinji's advances on several occasions. The relationship even reaches a climax in the middle of Season 2, while the two were trying to hide from enemies in a waterfall cave. Unfortunately, that moment felt somewhat clumsy and more sexual than romantic. Mao Mao hasn't explicitly revealed that she has romantic feelings for Shinji, but their relationship is definitely central to the storyline, which leaves plenty of room for something interesting to happen. So, I will give Apothecary's Diaries an A rank. Before we go on with our list, if you're enjoying this content, please drop me a like, comment, or consider subscribing. Let me know which anime has the best romantic plot according to you, what you think of my list, and which core elements you'd like me to break down next. Following up, we have Dan Season 1. According to Phantom Wire, the author, Yukino Butatsu, has researched and read more than 100 romance titles to understand the mechanism of a good romantic story before creating Dan. And I have to say that his hard work paid off. I would even call Dan an action rom-com. After all, when you think about it, the first episode is titled That's How Love Starts, you know. From the start, both Momo and Okarun grow feelings for each other, and in episode 10, these feelings are even about to be explicitly shared before being interrupted by Momo's friends. This is a typical rom-com device used to postpone the confession of feelings between two main protagonists. Also, the introduction of additional romantic interest in the person of Gigi and Aira adds complexity to the romantic plot of the story and confirms that romance is one of the main components that make Dan a great show. So, Dan will be the first show to get the S rank. And finally, Frieren Beyond Journey's End. In Frieren Beyond Journey's End, not one, but 2 love relationships are central to the story. On one hand, Frieren and Himmel's relationship, which was never explicitly revealed, is told via flashbacks and through Frieren's memories. On the other hand, Fern and Stark's relationship is rooted in the present, and we get to see it slowly grow and evolve. In a sense, the two relationships mirror each other. While Frieren and Himmel's story belongs to the past, Fern and Stark's story belongs to the future. It is a very interesting duality, especially since Frieren, Fern, and Stark are aiming to reach the land where the souls rest, where Frieren could meet the spirit of Himmel, express her feelings, which would further develop the romantic plot between the two characters. So in this case, past, present, and future are intertwined and play an important role in the romantic storyline of the show. Obviously, after all that, I can only give Frieren Beyond Journey's End the S rank. Before we end this, let's recap the grades. We've got first, Kaiju number 8, E rank, Delicious in Dungeon, D rank, Solo Leveling, C rank, Apothecary's Diaries, A rank, Dan to Dan, S rank, and Frieren, S rank. This was Otakun. Thanks for watching.